The air in the room changes the moment it happens. It is a soft theft, a quiet erasure of your presence. You are speaking, perhaps sharing something that matters, or perhaps just offering a simple thought. And then, it's gone. The sentence you were building is cut short. Someone else's voice has moved into the space where yours used to be. Most people will tell you that being interrupted is a matter of bad manners. They are wrong. Being interrupted is a battle for the territory of the soul. It is a moment where the world silently decides that your internal reality is less significant than someone else's external noise. And if you are listening to this, you know exactly how that feels. You know the specific, stinging heat that rises in your chest when your words are left hanging in the air like smoke. Close your eyes for a moment. Remember a time, perhaps it was just today, or maybe it was a defining moment years ago, when you were mid-sentence. Recall the physical environment, the height of the chair you were sitting in, the way the light hit the table, the person across from you. You were vulnerable. To speak is to reveal a part of yourself. And then they spoke over you. Do you remember the exact second your voice trailed off? Do you remember the physical sensation of pulling your words back into your throat, swallowing them down because there was no longer any room for them to live? Maybe you tried to fight for it for a second. Maybe you raised your volume just a fraction, only to realize they weren't looking at you anymore. Their eyes had already moved on. In that moment, you didn't just lose a conversation. You felt yourself become invisible. You felt the boundaries of your own identity blur, as if you were a ghost trying to touch a solid world. The pain of being interrupted isn't about the topic of conversation. It's about the underlying message. The message that says, I am more real than you. The message that says, your silence is the price of my comfort. You probably asked yourself why it hurt so much. You've likely wondered why you didn't say something. Why you just sat there, nodding, pretending to listen to the person who just pushed you out of the room. You felt that quiet shame afterward. The I should have said that haunts you on the drive home. You've wondered if you are too weak or too quiet, or simply not interesting enough to hold the floor. You've blamed your own sensitivity. You've told yourself it's not a big deal, yet you can still feel the weight of those unspoken words sitting in your stomach like lead. What I am about to tell you will change the way you see every interaction for the rest of your life. It will change the way you perceive the power dynamics of your relationships, your career, and your own self-worth. But I need you to stay with me until the very end. This is not a trick. It is a shift in frequency. It is the transition from being a victim of the noise to being the master of the silence. 2,000 years ago, a man named Epictetus lived as a slave. He had no legal right to his own body. He had no power over his physical world. Yet he became one of the most powerful minds in human history. He taught a philosophy that we now call Stoicism. Epictetus believed that the greatest tragedy a human can suffer is not being silenced by others, but losing control of their own inner sanctuary. He taught that while you cannot control the tongues of other men, you are the absolute sovereign of your own response. He lived by a simple, devastatingly powerful truth. No one can hurt you without your consent. At first, this sounds impossible. How can you not feel hurt when someone dismisses you? How can you not feel small when someone talks over you? The Stoic answer is found in the understanding of the interrupter's nature. The person who interrupts you is almost never trying to hurt you. They are simply drowning in their own lack of presence. They are governed by an internal chaos, an anxiety to be heard, an ego that needs constant feeding, or a mind so scattered it cannot hold the weight of another person's thoughts. They are not powerful. They are reacting. They are a leaf caught in the wind of their own impulses. When you realize this, the pain begins to transform into something else. It transforms into a quiet, steady clarity. You begin to see that their interruption is not a comment on your value. It is a public confession of their own restlessness. But here is the psychological truth that might hurt, even as it sets you free. The reason you feel so much pain when you are interrupted is because you are looking to the other person for permission to exist. You are waiting for their silence to validate your right to speak. And when they don't give you that silence, you feel as though your right to exist has been revoked. This creates a deep moral struggle within you. You are a kind person. You value empathy. You don't want to be the rude one. You don't want to be the person who creates conflict. So you choose silence. But you worry that by choosing silence, you are betraying yourself. You feel caught between being a good person and being a strong person. You fear that if you reclaim your space, you will become the very thing you dislike: aggressive, loud, and insensitive. You wonder, if I protect myself, do I lose who I am? This is the crossroads where most people stay lost. They stay in the polite shadows, growing more resentful with every year that passes. But there is a middle path, a way of being that is both soft and unbreakable. And it begins with a radical act of self-responsibility. We must acknowledge a difficult truth. We teach people how to treat us. Every time you allow an interruption to pass without a calm correction, you are training the other person to believe that your thoughts are secondary. You are not being nice. You are being dishonest. You are allowing a false reality to exist where your voice doesn't matter. Wisdom begins when you realize that your silence is not a virtue if it's born of fear. Wisdom is the ability to hold your space without anger. Imagine it. The next time the theft happens, the next time someone cuts through your sentence, instead of shrinking, you do nothing. You don't get angry. You don't fight for the floor. You simply pause. You wait. You look at them with a calm, steady gaze. Not a glare of judgment, but a gaze of observation. When they finish their thought, because eventually they will run out of air, you do not react to what they said. You do not acknowledge their detour. You wait for a full 2 seconds of silence. Let the silence become heavy. Let the room realize what has happened. And then you say, in a voice that is quiet, intimate, and devoid of any heat, as I was saying, and you finish your thought, exactly where you left off. In that moment, everything changes. You have not been aggressive. You have not been rude. You have simply refused to be erased. You have practiced the Stoic art of apatheia, not a lack of feeling, but a freedom from being controlled by the behavior of others. You have reclaimed your respect not by taking it from them, but by refusing to give it away. This is the transformation of wisdom. It is the realization that your worth is not a gift given to you by an audience. It is a fact of your existence. When you speak from this place, you don't need to shout. People who are solid don't need to be loud. They carry a weight that commands the room without ever raising a hand. They are like the mountain that the wind blows against. The wind can howl. The wind can be noisy. The wind can try to move the mountain. But the mountain just is. You are the mountain. Your thoughts, your experiences, and your voice are a part of the architecture of the world. You have a right to the space you occupy. Not because you are better than anyone else, but because you are here. And being here is enough. The next time you feel that theft occurring, remember that you are the master of the silence. You are the one who decides when the story is over. You are not a ghost. You are not a background character in someone else's drama. You are a soul of infinite value, navigating a world of noise. Hold your peace. Hold your gaze. Hold your space. You are worth the wait. Go back into the world now. Not with a shield, but with a center. The noise will continue. The interruptions will come, but they can no longer reach you because you finally know who you are. And you finally know that the most powerful thing you can ever be is finished. Subscribe if you are ready to build your internal fortress. Leave a comment below with the word sovereign if this helped you.